Hello everybody, Glitch Ripper here. I'm back for some more Magic Duels Story Mode, and we're on already to the fourth part of Kaladesh. Yeah, it's happening. But this might be a little bit different, so let's get into this. Uh, Massive crowds gather around the arena at the center of the Inventor's Fair, eager to watch the final event, the Grand Exhibition. Judges announce the winning inventions to great fanfare. All eyes fall on the esteemed head judge of the fair and honored guest of the consulate, Tezzeret, who announces that he himself will take the stage in the final duel. Deafening cheers ring out from the citizens as the renegade prisoner Pia Nalaar is forced into the arena. The Metal Mage smiles as his plans fall into place. So he's kind of preparing to do something a little dastardly, and we're kind of on a special duel where, yep, it's flipping around again. Actually playing as Tezzeret, not as Pia Nalaar. So this is him fighting her from his perspective, which is a bit different. And yeah, he's a blue-black player. In case you're wondering, that is the color scheme we've got going here. Seems like a decent hand because of Steel Wall. So yeah, I think I'll go with playing a Swamp first. That gives me at least one source of mana. And 1 point's all I need for the Steel Wall. It's basically just a wall, so it only defends, nothing else. But it has 4 points of toughness, which isn't half bad. So it's a good it's a good stalling tactic. And as usual with these story mode decks, they tend to have a pretty good amount of mana of the appropriate types. Eager Construct. When it enters the battlefield, each player may scry one. Okay, so that's gonna come up in all sorts of directions. Namely just two. Yeah, I could use a little more mana. I'll just leave that on the top. Scry Familiar. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life. When it dies, you draw a card. So this is good in more than one way. It's basically an artifact creature that's a fox. So a 2/2 isn't bad. So let's go with that, because I'm gonna get some more better creatures to actually attack with fairly soon, because we have Snare Thropters, which have haste and flying, and they're 3/2, so they'll deal some fair damage round around. And we have this that I might be able to cast later. It doesn't seem to have a set that it goes with, but so we'll see if what this is about, because it's apparently going to only be here in story mode. It's flying, and when Sphinx Summoner enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an artifact creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand. If you do, shuffle your library. The thing is, there's an old rule that whenever you search your library for something, you have to shuffle it. So that's just something that's been around for like forever. Renegade Freighter. Whenever it attacks, it gets +1/+1 and gains trample until end of turn. Crew 2. So, she'll be able to crew that soon. And it will be able to defend for her. Well, Snare Thropter time. It has flying and haste, so it'll be able to zip past. Let's see, wait a moment. What was that? 4/3. Which means whenever it attacks, it will be a 5/4. Don't think I'll be able to fully stop it anyhow, so I might as well attack. Not entirely rooting for Tezzeret here, just saying, because he is basically one of the bad guys. But yeah, I could use that 3/3 Sphinx sometime. That sounds nice. Could also use a card, so I think I'll go ahead and reduce the damage by actually letting this go. The thing is about trample is it does the remainder, so that will reduce the damage by a few points. I was doing that mainly to draw a card. Okay, extra mana is good. World Pass Monitor. It can gain minutes until end of turn if you pay 1 red, and it's a 3/2 artifact creature that's a lizard. Well, for 3 mana, that's not really too terribly bad, so yeah, it's a decent card for use. Also, it has enough power to commit to another crewing situation. Now, here's where things get interesting. Snare Thropper, so I can deal 6 damage at a time, or this Sphinx Summoner, so that I can search for another artifact creature card. I think I'll play this turn, and the other one the next. It's got minutes now. Thing is, will their damage be able to outpace mine? Because whenever I summon that next creature, it will be able to take care of the menace situation. But right now, I'm just pouring on the damage. They lost their menace. They might do it again. Speedway Fanatic has haste, and whenever it crews a vehicle, that vehicle gains haste until end of turn. He's a 2/1 human pilot. You'll usually only see pilots here in Kaladesh. Although vehicles have managed to be kind of popular afterwards, so you never know. You might see pilots again. Well, Kaladesh and Ether Revolt actually. Okay, now they do that. Let me see. That one would take out my wall. I guess this is kind of time to do that. So I'll reduce all that damage there. Now I could probably have done something else later, but we'll see. Mainly just staying ahead a bit. Oh, another one of those Sphinx Summoners. That's nice. Let's make it a little even, shall we? They just, yep, they crewed that. But it's already tapped. That's funny. Accomplished Automaton. That maybe later. But I need something wallish right about now, because I do have an additional point of mana to spend after I cast that. I was thinking about having plenty. You're giving it menace on my turn, not yours. It's only useful during the attack round. Hello? I think the computer doesn't seem to entirely always get the concept of what's useful on a given round. This next round could get a little wild, so we'll see. But if I manage to pull off a double strike like that again, then it's over for the computer. So all I need is those 2 creatures left. I say that, and then it says, deals damage to target creature or player equal to the number of cards in your hand. Discard all cards in your hand, then draw that many cards. So Fateful Showdown. Basically, they're going ballistic. They zapped me. Okay, how many? Pause. How many is that? You see, that will be about 8 points. That's not enough to save him for this next round. I could actually just let that pass through. Of course, I could also use this in my wall to block that out and buffer a bit. So I think I'm going to do that, because again, all I need is these 2 creatures being fine. Menace isn't going to work this time. I will actually block with both. But yes, I understand this creature is going to go down, and my wall will be fine. I get hit by a train. And yet I survive. Obviously, this doesn't normally happen. Sphinx Summoner or Marionette Master. Ah, this one's an interesting one. Human Artificer for about 6 converted mana. It's like 4 generic and 2 black to 1/3, which seems a little weak for that first, but we have Fabricate 3, which means whenever it enters the battlefield, I can either put 3 +1/+1 counters on it, making it basically a 4/6, which would take care of that train. But also, whenever an artifact you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to Marionette Master's power. So it's a very good idea to give this the counters. I think I will actually use that. Yeah, I'm gonna take the counters, please. It's enough to stop that train. But unless they got a rabbit in their hat, which I don't believe so because they are tapped out in terms of their mountains, then the computer doesn't really have the ability to stop this. And as somebody who really knows this game, like specifically Magic Duels, not just Magic the Gathering in general, I know amongst all the cards available in this, and as far as I've seen, even that the computer has access to, there's nothing that they can play for free under even some sort of extenuating circumstance. Like, there used to be things like, well, you can do this instead of casting this card's mana cost. Like, instead of paying it normally, you can do something else instead. There's nothing like that in this game. There's like one card that's a sort of a freebie to play, but it can only be done on your turn. It's not something that can be done on an opponent's turn. So right now, the assessment is the computer is doomed. So let's attack and then continue on with the story. So sorry, Pia. This time Tezzeret wins. Okay, Tezzeret, you've proven that you're a bit of a show-off. For all of Pia's ingenuity and experience, her inventing skills are no match for Tezzeret's powerful metal magic. Tezzeret gains the upper hand, and suddenly he attempts to land a fatal blow on Pia herself. Realizing this exhibition has taken a deadly turn, the crowd grasps in horror. The thing is, this is the epic last moment save type situation. I don't know if it'll have that part in this, or if it continues on to the next. It continues on the next. Okay, so the last minute saving of Pia Nalaar was apparently just mainly implied for now. Okay, sorry about that. We'll get to that later. But for now, this part of it's over, and we'll be into the final segment of Kaladesh's story on with next Friday. So for now, this has been Glitch Reaper. I'll be logging off. Hope to hear from you all later. And bye for now, everybody. And remember, Friday Night Magic.